Hello, in this tutorial we're going to talk about the writing view and publishing. But as you can see here, we've started in picture view because it's important to know the direct connection between picture view and writing view. So here I've created my web in picture view. You can see my main idea all about me. Then I've got two subtopics, school and home. In the subtopic of home, I've got two um, topics connected to that. I have mom and dad. And then in school, I've got the subtopic of math. I want you to notice the connections between these arrows because it's really important that these arrows are correctly positioned so that when we move to our writing view, our draft is correctly organized. So I'm going to flip back and forth so you could see um, the significance between picture view and writing view. So we click on this writing view button, and now we've got our writing view. And in writing view, I could see all of the images that were used as symbols in picture view, and you could see that they're all laid out in the direct connection that the arrows had in my picture view. So all about me is the farthest to the left. It's my head topic. And then directly underneath that, one indented tab, I've got home. And then at that same level, I've got school. And then under home, I have got mom and dad. And then under school, I have math. So you could see these are directly connected and laid out in the same way that my arrows are seen. If my arrows are incorrectly positioned, that's going to affect my layout. Let me show you what that looks like. So if I were to click on this arrow between math and school, and I were to choose from math to school and go in the opposite direction, and then let me do the same thing with mom to home, and I now click on writing view, you could see here that my layout is now a bit different. You could see that both math and mom are all the way out at the same level as all about me. And this happened because the arrows were incorrectly positioned. So that's one thing to make note, that when you're in picture view, it's really important that your arrows are correctly directed so that your topics and your subtopics are identified properly in the writing view. So now that we're in writing view and everything's set up correctly, we could take a look at these features. You could see my topics all have a topic line that is seen also in picture view. Anything written above the red is going to be seen in the picture view. So you could see here that test was visible. But anything written below this red line on the blue spaces in the text field does not appear. So write that here. You could see that there is no word test. It just shows up here. So what you would do as a student in writing view is add details to the topics and subtopics that you wrote. So all about me, I might transform this into a sentence. I am going to tell you all about myself. Okay, and then home, I might write a sentence here. Okay, I grew up in New York. Okay, and I can continue. Each of these little sections will continue to give you space. You could hit enter and just write as much as you want. Okay, so don't worry about running out of space. If for some reason you want to change positions of these sections, for example, maybe you want mom or dad reversed, you can actually click on them and drag them. Whoops. Let's drag it up. There it is. You can see you could drag it up or in, and you could either drag or you can click on them and then use these left and move right buttons on the top menu bar. So that's just another way to adjust the positions of your writing, your draft. So let's look at those menu options on the top real quick. Most of them are going to be familiar. You have your writing and picture view button, which flips you back and forth. You have your plus or add idea button. So what that does, when you click it, it will add a different idea. It's kind of like adding a bubble in picture view, which you can then adjust using your left and right. And you can see when I move out to picture view, there's that blank bubble. Okay. There is the erase, your undo and redo, your reader, which is actually a fun feature to use because it will read the text that is written. A good way to edit or revise your writing, a student can type something out and then listen to it and see how it sounds. A lot of times you can pick up spelling mistakes or grammar, or just use it to change the way the words are laid out or written. Then we have our name. Always good to add your name. And then your word guide. Just like in picture view, you can highlight a word or not, and then open up word guide, and it gives you the definition, synonyms if there's available, and so on. So at the bottom, you could see that I can change the font size, making bold, italics, underlined. There's also a feature that changed the bullets. So you could see here I've gone back and forth from the images on picture view. Now they're bullets, now they're numbers, letters, Roman numerals, and then nothing, and then back to the pictures. Just another way to keep things organized. Maybe you wanted to start your project in writing view and just practice note taking. You could use this button uh, to change the prefixes of these views, these I guess ideas, to be Roman numerals or letters. And the last button is our publish button. And what that does is it takes both our picture view and writing view and it dumps it into a published document, like for Word, for example. What I did notice is for you to hit this button, we need to save our item first. So I'm just going to go to File, Save, make sure it's saved. Now that it's saved, I'm going to click Publish. It's going to pop up a box that says, oh, it's going to directly just open up in Word. Sometimes it will pop up a box that allows you to select a different option. So we're now in Word. We're in a separate program. You can see in the bottom of my screen I have my Kidspiration icon. I can click back into this program and continue working, or I could go to that Word Final Published and see that there are two separate items. And it's important for kids to know that when you publish and you are now in Microsoft Word, that it's a separate program and it's going to be saved in a separate file. So now we're published, we're in Word. You'll notice that this first image is of my web, and that's one solid image that I could use as a good reference for my continued writing. And then underneath has all of my draft and my revisions that I wrote in writing view. And I can continue editing and revising in Word, or if I want to, I can strictly just publish from here. So writing view is a great way for students to see the connection between their plan in picture view to their draft. This one-click button from picture view to writing view again shows a clear uh, connection between how important our web is, our planning, to our draft. And then this last button to publish shows the connection between our draft and revisions to our final publication. So that is writing view.